Yo, what's going on, Donnies and Donettes? Come on, we're back again with another episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Yes! Guys, it's 2026, man, and we have got so much to bring you, man. When I mean this year is going to be your best year, I know it. I can feel it. I know you can feel it, but let's get into it and reasons why. On this episode today, we're going to be doing some recaps on some of our highlights and great points that was made in 2026 to give you a foundation and a good trajectory for 2026. So let's not waste any time and let's get into this episode, and we can do that once we roll the sexy intro. Guys, I want to start this episode by reliving some of the clips from last year. We've had some of the best guests, some amazing tips and tricks, brilliant story time, and there's been some education is not even a word. This is becoming a university. And what I love about that is that we're able to pick things from all different places, all different walks of life, but we can all relate because we're all DJs and we understand the trials and tribulations. Now, one of the things I'm going to start with is social media. You guys know I'm a massive advocate for social media. Social media is how I've built who and what I am today. And one of the things I know a lot of people gripe with is one point that Ray, the DJ, made. On episode 33, she spoke about this.
That is, I'm still working on it. I'm not all the way where I want to be. Even content-wise, I'm still getting used to being content because I'm still shy. Like, I still don't want a camera in my face. Like, I still don't know how to act on camera sometimes. I'm still like, a lot of the content that I have, if you notice, is other people haven't got it. And I'm like, that's kind of cold. I'll post that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really set out to record content a lot because I'm shy and I get nervous. So I realized, okay, cool. I just need cameras in the room when I'm DJing. I'll get content that way because I'm alive when I'm DJing.
Yeah.
The whole set it up in the house and DJ in the house. Like every video I've done like that has taken me a minute because I don't like it. Like, I'm just
and then when you watch it back, you don't like what you're seeing neither.
Yeah, because I look like I'm not comfy. Do you know what I mean? Like I can tell, I can smell it on me. I don't like it. Yeah,
I'm watching it and I can
smell the anxiety. Like, man, your anxiety is smelling. Like I can see it. So,
can smell the anxiety.
Yeah, like it's reeking. So that's why I like when I get content when I'm just live DJing, because when I'm actually DJing, more time I'm not nervous. I only get nervous when I do stupid things. Like, you ever make a technical mistake and you think to yourself, I'm better than that.
Yeah, like what the hell is that, bro?
What the hell is that? Yeah. That's me. I get irritated. That's the only time you'll see me actually DJing, and you can see that like the wheel are turning in my head. Is if I do something so slight but so stupid, I'm like, why? Right? Like, you're better than that.
Yeah,
like,
come on, man.
I don't understand how I can DJ for 6 hours and never do a mistake like that, and then like 10 minutes into the set, I'm doing something dumb, like what, loading onto the wrong deck. Like, what? Like, what are we doing? But other than that, I'll be chilling when I'm DJing. So the content's a lot more natural and I'm having a good time. And that's when you'll see me jumping up and having a time. So, yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to echo that, what you just said, to others, because I try to say to people, like, content is content. You got to get what you can, And if you're going to an event, if you haven't got friends or family or anyone that can help you, it's hard. People have cameras around, but you don't know these people, so you won't get these videos. So I always say to people, like, get a content creator or get something so people can film you in action if you don't like filming yourself. Exactly like what you've just said. Do you know what I mean? And if you can get that content and reuse that content, usually that content's the best because it's showing people exactly what you do in action. If you book me, this is what you're gonna. This is how I'm affecting the crowd. This is what I'm doing. This is it. This is the creme. This is the creme right here. Look at it. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes that can be the best content. So if someone can capture those bits for you, then that's your content. That can be your content. I think in this game, we can all relate to exactly what Ready DJ just said there when it comes to the anxiety. Her anxiety's reeking. That one killed me. But when it comes to anxiety reeking, we can understand that. We all understand that. And that's why, going back to what I was saying about different ways of getting content, we've got to try different ways. If you find that filming yourself is difficult, find another way. There's so many ways, guys, of getting different types of content. There's selfie style, holding it yourself. There's the Insta 360s that a lot of DJs are using that are getting dance floor and yourself. Like Insta 360 is a great option. What's great about the Insta 360 is that when you keep using it, you start to forget that it's there. So then that sort of mind that I'm being filmed starts to dissipate. And then you just start to get into your mix. And then when you get home, you can scroll through the footage and find the parts that you're most happy with and get that out there to the world, man. Content creator might be a bit more expensive, but your videos now look professional and sharp. They're also edited, and now you've got content that you can recycle and reuse. So if you find yourself struggling for getting content for yourself, that is one of the main goals that we're going to set for you this year, is to get more content. And how you do it, guys, is up to you. It's up to you how you do it. There's no right or wrong way. There's just different ways. And I will try to show on this podcast all the different types of techniques of getting content so you can grow your business and make more moolah this year, because that's going to be one of your goals, is getting on social media more than you did last year. Now, this isn't me asking you to post every day and post every... No. We're not saying that. We're just saying better than last year. If we're going to say we posted 3 times a month last year, this time we're going to aim for 6. Very simple, small bits. Everyone's at a different stage. Everyone's different. So I'm talking to the person that doesn't post that much. This year, you're just going to post a little bit more. We're not going to push you out of your comfort zone or get you into a place where you're going to be, stressed or anything like that. Just a little bit more than you did for 2025. That's going to be your goal. And what Ray the DJ said, follow me swiftly on to Lord's DJ with his episode 42, where he said this. What advice would you give to someone who's in a town that doesn't have a lot of opportunities? They've got their Instagram, they get the FOMO, they're looking, they're comparing themselves to all these different people, and they don't really feel that what can be achieved can be achieved. What would you say to someone like that?
I forget it. I literally say to them, forget what you think other people may think of you, because people don't really care as much as you really think they care.
They don't care at all. And that's why they don't care at all, Lords.
They've got their own problems. They don't really care as much as you think they really care about your thing. So in my opinion, if I was speaking to that person, I'd be like, if you really want to be this specific type of DJ, or you want to achieve this specific sort of thing, you have to work backwards on yourself. So you have to think, okay, if I want to achieve this, what do I need to do to get to that stage? And the first thing that I say to any DJ is that you have to be comfortable putting yourself out there and be comfortable with the fact that, you may only get low views. It's fine. It's okay. Keep it pushing. Not every single piece of content you're going to post is going to bang. It's not. But you have to keep rolling with it. Because eventually there'll be one that does bang. And then once you find that one, regardless if it's only 100 views more or 2,000 views more, you double down on what that is and create more content around that sort of thing. You know what I mean? To keep amplifying and growing, you know what I mean? But I think it's more about the mind.
Oh, my bro.
I think it's all about the mind.
Everything.
It really is. It really is. I feel like you really want something. You have to just literally, like you said already, tunnel vision and think, this is what I want to achieve. And if this, no matter how embarrassing or cringy it may be, this is what I want to do. And you have to just be like, this is focus on what I want to do, and just go straight on with just that specific goal of what you want to achieve. Because the way I see it, if I can do it, and I come from a town like the DJ we use as an example, there is no reason why another DJ from a small town can't do it as well. They can do it as well. You know what I mean?
And it's like you're saying, that's the mindset that I want to change. I want to change that person, because it's that person I think that needs to listen to this more than anybody else. It's the guy that lives on like any shop is like 20 minutes away, and they're just thinking like there's one bar up the road, and DJ Dave's in there, no one can get in there, and his auntie owns the bar, and he's like, I want to be a DJ, but I can't DJ because he goes in there. The main cities are too far, or even when I do go to the main cities, they want the better big DJs, 100,000 followers, this 1,000 followers, this brand, that brand, and they're thinking that they can't do something. I will go back to like what we were saying before about like, if you stay tunnel visioned and keep pushing your thing, there will come a point, I promise anyone listening, your thing will catch fire. The only thing you must do is learn. When you're posting, you must learn. So you've got to look at things like analytics, what's working, what's not. Study, learn. Study it. Take time.
Also, look at other creators as well, regardless if they're in your field. or not in your field and see what works for them. Because content is content. If it's good content, it'll get pushed. And it's figuring out, okay, cool, if this style of content is working, or this topic of content is working for this creator, regardless is in your field or not, how can I apply this to my field as well? You know what I mean?
100%.
And then use that as well to amplify your own brand. You know what I mean? That's what I'd say as well, because I think social media is one of the biggest tools, or the best tool that any DJ can use. And it's for free. I say this all the time. Like, if you're not on social media, you're going to be left behind. It's as simple as that.
Like, if you're not on social media, you're no one can see you. And if no one can see you, it's going to be really hard to get some of your organic bookings. I think a great point Lord's made is that everyone's got their own problem. Sometimes we can overthink and we think about, oh, what's this one going to say and what's that one going to say? And most of them are not going to say anything because they've got their own lives going on. They've got their own thing going on. It's always a good thing to remember that other people have got their own things. Not everyone's looking at your social media ready to laugh or ready to say something or comment something stupid. Not everyone's going to do that. A very small percentage is going to do that. So it's about tunnel vision, thinking about where it is that you want to go, working back on yourself, just exactly like what Lord said. So if you want to say, I want to double my bookings, I want to double my income, whatever it is you want to go, you set something and it's here, and then you got to say to yourself, okay, let me look at what things I can achieve to then get to that point. And those are some of the things that we're going to be focused on this year as well. Setting a goal for this year and working back. Sometimes you can set a goal and it doesn't have to be crazy steps. We're talking 3 to 5 steps, 3 to 5 steps of how I can get closer to whatever it is that goal that you said that you wanted to set is. So if we go back to goal number 1, which is post more this year than before, the main thing you're trying to do is, 1, get out of that anxiety stage, exactly like what Ray the DJ was talking about. I'm going to apologize. If you can hear buzzing, I've got my neighbors that are probably, I don't know what they're doing, fitting a new bathroom, fitting a new something. They're building something. I was sitting here when I first started. It took me an hour before I started recording because there was noise and I thought, give them an hour. But I've given them an hour and a half and they're still drilling. So if you can hear drilling, I'm getting frustrated because I'm trying to present to the community. And anyway, woosa. So yeah, if one of the goals that we said before is about posting more this year, you're going to work yourself some 3 steps back. So first of all, you want to get out of that anxiety mode, get out of the mindset of people. Remember, people have problems as well. Instead of thinking, what are they going to say? Think of they've got their own dramas going on and everyone's got their own thing. So using those small things will help you to start to post more. It will help you. For all those that are coming Level Up Live, yeah, I have got the perfect thing for this. I have got the perfect thing for the 2 things we just spoke about. The 2 things we just spoke about, especially when it comes to social media. I've got the thing that can get rid of all of that for you. But I've said it before, I want to say it now, but I got to hold it back for everyone that's coming to Level Up Live on the 22nd of February this year. It's going to be I don't even want to stress it too much. Hem or Hems to the area, head into the link in the description, grab your ticket, because the few things that are when I'm looking at the blueprints, I'm like, this is going to change so many people's lives. And the people that are turning up there, I say this with a promise, it's going to change your trajectory for 2026. That's the whole plan. That's the whole reason. And you will succeed, especially if you're coming. But anyway, we'll save that for Level Up Live, guys. You know what I'm saying? One thing that gets the DJs talking online is pricing. And for all my people coming to Level Up Live as well, we're going to up the pricing. But let's go back. Before we talk about that, let's go back to episode 15 with my man Dan Ross, where he said this.
And he walked in and he's like, how much are you charging for this, Dan? And I was like, I don't know, £450, £500. I'd just been charging £295, doing lots of like regular hotel stuff. And he went, mate, like I charged that and I put 2 lights out. This is £800 all day. And I went, really? Like, nervous, scared. And yeah, he convinced me. He went, mate, charge £800. What you got to lose? And I did it, and it's worked. And
Did you have any pushback?
No, not at all.
Did anyone ask you for a discount?
No, the only thing I did have to do, and I think this is important for any DJ that's thinking about increasing his prices.
Yes, I'm a big advocate for this, bruv. So yeah, go on, tell them whatever they can get.
You now need to, you start as a brand new business. So all of my previous clients are not interested in me anymore. In most cases, I was charging $295. They were paying my prices for a reason. They were in that bracket.
Yeah.
So I now had to go and find new venues,
new clients, and new people,
the venue
new
I
budgets.
was at.
Yeah.
So I had to start a business again, which I knew when I was doing that, but it was hard work. It took a year. There was a year where it was difficult, tough. I was doing this full time. To be honest, I was still taking like local jobs for the local multi-op just to like fill in gaps and stuff. But then it's just allowed me to stabilise that, charge £800, and now, I'll be honest, I'm now going, let's charge more. And yeah, that's kind of my little story, I guess.
Okay, love that. Love good. Lots of good points there. Lots of good points. First of all, is take my hat off to you starting businesses young. Like I wish, because knowing what I know now, obviously hindsight all the time, but knowing what I know now, Dan, I think to myself, like, what if when I started DJing, when I was, when I actually started proper 14 years old, started with vinyls and whatever, and I'm like, when I talk to anyone who started a business young, I commend them because I think to myself, I would have loved to have started something back then because what would it be now? Do you know what I mean? And similar to like what you were saying, another thing that you mentioned is growth. You was talking about basically when you first started, 295, someone saw your rig, told you what the hell, I do that for much less, opened your mind, opened your mindset because that's what I'm trying to do with the podcast as well, is sometimes you hear something and it changes what you believe, especially if you hear it from someone else. You might have not have done that if that person didn't come with the experience and say, Dan, like, how much you charging? And then when he heard your price, it's like, just for your setup alone, the work that takes to set that up and bring that, the stories to keep, it has to be minimum £800. So, and then when you done that price change, nothing changed. And some people believe that, oh man, I'm charging $350, and I'm like, go 500, go. And they're like, I can't. And I'm like, what's making you think that you can't? And when we actually take off the onion layers, it's them that makes them think that they can't. But I'm like, the market hasn't said you can't because you haven't even tried to test the market to see if they say yes or no.
I have a strong belief that this is all done from fear.
Oh!
Everything. It is all not and fear is good. So like when I made these decisions, I now have a 5-month-old child sat downstairs. That is gonna. You're right. If you're listening to this and going, yeah, but I've got a whole family to support. Like, yes, the fear is there. I understand that, and that will impact your decisions. However, if you don't take these risks and have a plan, you need a fallback. Like for me, I had relationships where I could still easily click of a finger go and get a 295 gig. So have that there. Have your safety net. But then take the risk. And even if you went down 2 brands, I see this a lot in America. They're running a brand, maybe not so much for a solo op, but there's a website for their premium service and there's a website for their run-of-the-mill service. And that could be another way just to remove that element of fear and risk and all that kind of stuff. Because I do appreciate that if you're doing this full time and you're providing for 2 or 3 children, you've got your wife or your partner that are relying on this income, it's scary. You do not want to be the person to collapse the household. But at the same time, if you don't take risk, you are going to stay in the same place for years and years to come. So it's hard.
It is hard. And that's the thing I'm trying to break with people is the fears. It's the doubt. It's that inner voice. We've all got that inner voice in us that tells us things, and sometimes we listen to it too much. But that inner voice is trying to protect us. But in that protect, what happens is that we stagnant and we stay. And like I was saying, I said on Groove Junction podcast, that's things out now. I was like, if you look at DJ wages from 2015. And then we look at DJ wages from 2025. This is a 10-year jump, right? And what you're going to see is a very small increment. You're talking about maybe 200-300 quid. Great analogy that we're all mobile DJs. We all have cars. We all have local car washes, right? You remember before COVID how much you were spending for a car wash?
Yeah.
If you go to that car wash now, you're spending easily double for the same car wash, car wash.
Yeah, the barber's another good one.
Barber's another good.
Yeah,
let's look at those little trivial things. Or we can go bigger. We can go to your rent. We can go to rent from 2015 to now.
Don't go
we can go to
there.
Mortgages 2015 to now. We can go Sainsbury's shop 2015 to now. Do you know what I mean? 10-year gap, big jumps for everyone else. DJ jump, small. And that's why I believe the fear and the same thing about as a DJs, we run this industry, so the price we set, that's the reason why the price is. It's not because of anybody else. Just like you said, you changed your price overnight, and the price was changed overnight. Do you know what I mean? Just from what you said. So yeah, man, I'm glad you mentioned that, because yeah, man, I'm a massive advocate for DJs charging accordingly, especially bearing in mind inflation and things of that nature, which I think some DJs haven't put in. Any DJ charging less than $350 for any private hire DJ work, I want to change that for you this year. If you're a DJ and you're listening to this and you're charging $350 or less for mobile DJ work, when I say mobile DJ, I mean that you're bringing sound, lighting, DJ booths. When you're bringing all of these things to an event, and if you're charging $350, you are well underneath what you should be charging. The reason I say this, what I want you to do, if this is you, what I want you to do at some point today, go on Google, write in local sound and lighting hire. I want you to find out how much it would cost for you to get sound and lighting installed into any venue round by you. Get a quote. Ask the company how much. When you see the price, you will start to understand why I'm saying this, why you cannot charge $350 to set up, install, DJ, and then pack away. If we take the DJ out of it, and you was just installing your speakers, your lights, and a DJ booth for someone else to pay, any company in the UK will be charging well over $350. So how can we, as mobile DJs, supply the sound and the light and be the DJ and then pack away and charge $350 or less when for a company to supply just the equipment, forget the talent, forget someone managing it, just the equipment. If that's the case, we cannot charge less than $350. It doesn't meet up with inflation. We are under. And if you're doing that, if it works for you, that's fine. I've kind of come to the realization that you're always going to have the DJs that want to charge £100, 50 quid, go out for free. If you're new and you're brand new, none of this, what I'm saying, applies to you. This only applies to people that have registered companies, pay public liability insurance, and I'm not even talking about full-time, even part-time DJs. I'm talking to you as well, because you being part-time doesn't mean that you charge something that is a ridiculous fee when another hire company that has speakers just like you will be charging way more. If anything, at least charge what they charge. And if you want, which I think is stupid, if you want, have your DJ service free, but your labor, you're setting up, you're taking stuff, the gear, the storage, whether it's in your bedroom, your garage, your lockup, wherever it is, you have to charge accordingly for that. Use what is out there. There are companies, try 2 companies, 3 companies, 4 companies. You cannot get speakers. You cannot get a full DJ rig for $350. Impossible. In the UK. I don't know about some other countries. If other countries are cheaper, that's good for them. UK, this place is expensive. And if you're watching the news, things are not getting any better for us, guys. So with that in mind, charge accordingly. Charge accordingly. Charge accordingly. Some people think I'm just driving price so we can just be like, oh yeah, just charge what you want. No, I'm very mindful. We are running businesses, and some of us, our mobile DJ services, are not as good as they could be because the finance isn't there to support the business. I spoke earlier about a content creator. Now, a content creator costs money, and a content creator is something that you can budget for if your business structure is set up in a way that can feast that. Maybe not at every event, but maybe 1 out of 5 events, you could be like, you know what, this venue, I know this venue, this couple or this client has booked a package that I really like, one of my favorite packages. This will be a good idea to now say I can have a content creator. If you charge accordingly, you can afford these things. If you don't charge accordingly, you can't afford these things, and hopefully not, but you may be in the red yourself. And this is where the business will suffer, which means you suffer. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. And I want you to know it's possible. So if you think it's not possible, Level Up Live is where you need to be. If you haven't got your ticket already and you're that person, come to Level Up Live. From this episode, I'm telling you, come to me directly. When no one's there, open forum or closed, and say to myself, 2-4, I'm charging less than 350. I heard what you said, but I don't know how I can get out of that. If that is you, you come to me at Level Up Live, and I promise you, we're changing that for you on that day. I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide, a safety one, not a wild one, similar to like what Dan was saying. If you've got a family to support, I understand all of these things. We've all been there. I understand these things, and I'm going to give you a bulletproof blueprint, 5-step plan of how you can charge accordingly so you can make more money for your family, and charge accordingly so you can do some of the things that we're speaking about. This moves me swiftly into my next clip, which is coming from Pat Mulligan, episode 29. Guys, this one is a banger. In this clip, he's going to talk about 2 points that we're going to speak about. But before we do, let's roll the clip and let's see what he had to say.
Yes. You need to understand where you're at. You need to understand how much money you should be charging yourself and be confident in doing it. Never be afraid to charge a bit more. Never be afraid to do that, and to have someone come back and say, I'm sorry, that's too expensive. Never, ever find yourself in a position where you're over-promising and under-delivering, but at the same token, right, always push that boundary. And Euan is the guy who's taught me that more than anyone else.
Same.
You know?
Same. Euan, yeah. When Euan is the one that gave me. So I've got 3 packages, and basically they're based off time. And I remember it was Euan that was like that. It was like, yeah, man, you're selling. It's the time. If they want you just for the evening, or do they want you for a dinner and dance, which is a new thing that I never did before meeting Euan. And then the full day. So it was like, yeah, instead of having different packages and different lists, it's the time thing. Are you there? Do you want me for the evening to come and make the day how it could be? Do you want me for your dinner and the evening to make it, once you go into dinner time, it just becomes a fun thing? Or do you want me from the whole day where, I'm bringing that vibe from as soon as your guests pull to the car park, I'm already going to be bringing that sort of energy. And it was him that gave me the idea for dinner and dance. It's like, bro, you need to make a dinner and dance. And I've never heard of that. I'm like, what is that? It's like, well, you start from dinner, you start from grand entrance. That's when you start. You host, you introduce yourself, like you become the host, and you do that, and then you do the evening also, which now is that's my sweet spot. That's the part I love to do.
So another thing I did when I left the industry, I retrained to be a therapist. Thankfully, I was never in a position where I had to use it for any period of time. I set up my own business doing it. I did a bit of work with it, but I did the training. And the valuable thing there is building rapport. So the rapport that you build during the day is so important to the nighttime.
Yes, correct.
It does make it a very long day, but it's a very financially rewarding day and a very personally rewarding day.
100%.
To the point where I offer a daytime hosting service only. I offer a full day, and I offer an evening DJ package. When it comes to the hosting during the day package, I've done a wedding where I've literally been there so I haven't been involved in the ceremony. I've arrived after the ceremony. I've literally done the wedding breakfast and left. And it's like Elvis has now left the building. They have been like, oh my God, this has been the best wedding ever. And I've literally felt like I've done nothing.
Yeah, because it's very different. Like no DJ, like you're saying, there's a couple hours.
And they've come back to me the day after or 2 days after and gone, do you know what? You should have stayed all night. We wish you'd have stayed all night. Or blah 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 blah. And I've also had it where I've not hosted the wedding, and you can just tell where you go, oh, I just wish I'd have been here during the day because it wouldn't have been where it is now. The best weddings I do are the ones where I've been there all day and I've built rapport all day long, and the guests know who I am, and we've got just a vibe, to use a phrase, and it just carries on into the nighttime. That is 100%. The very best thing.
That is the
very, very best thing about
because
hosting.
When you become on the evening, it's like you're DJing for your friends now instead of DJing for a crowd. It turns into you're entertaining people that you've been talking to throughout the day. You've picked up energies, conversations, and when you have that, the arsenal of information you have for the evening literally makes it go off on a whole nother level. So all day hosting 100% is a massive plus.
I couldn't agree more. It's So we'll come on to there straight at that point what I'm doing now. So my new thing,
project,
right?
The new project.
Just because this is really cool. So I was going to be doing some work with NADJ, and we couldn't. In the end, when we got through it, it was like we just can't make that happen. But it was about training and about developing it. So Wayne, who is the chairman, he's head honcho. He's got his proper head honcho. Wayne's involved in adult learning. And Wayne, in the background, has been developing training for DJs that is an apprenticeship, that is a proper government
accredited apprenticeship, like recognized.
Yeah, which will mean that we can get funding for people, so that's the biggest challenge here, is that actually we all need a person. We all need someone to work alongside us, because there's so much at risk. If you're on your own, you're driving down a country road, which is common in this job, at 3 o'clock in the morning, your van turns over. You need someone else with you. If you've got manual handling, you need someone with you. If you've got, you have some kind of a funny turn, you need someone with you. If there's occurrence of violence or anything like that, you need someone with you. Correct. If you're accused of doing something that maybe you haven't done, you need your own person saying that didn't happen in that way, and that person has to be sober. So I'm a big believer in having someone with me anyway. I'm very, very fortunate. My son George is an extraordinarily accomplished DJ. He's very young, but he's extraordinarily accomplished. And I tried so long to hold him off and go, no, George, you can't work with me. You can't come to a wedding with me. But the guy is next level, and as a lighting engineer or a lighting jock, he is top drawer too. Like way better than me. So having him with me means I've actually got my lights are going off, like proper going off, and we can get the right energy for what I want to do at nighttime.
Pat made two major points there. One was charging more and how you can charge more, and that's with day hosting. Day hosting has literally transformed what it is I can charge per day, and it's literally changed my business holistically. If you head into the description where I've started my school, I've got my own mobile DJ mastery school. You can sign up into the description, and I am going to be delivering a day hosting course where you can learn how to host yourself. If this is something that you've been looking into or something that you want to do, I'm going to be literally giving you all my scripts, all my how-tos, and how I do my standard day from start to finish, so you can literally take the whole thing and implement it straight into your business also. So head into the link in the description where you can sign up to the community, sign up to the school. It's absolutely free, and then you can join the course as soon as it lands, just in late March this year. Also, another major point that he did make is that one thing I do talk about when it comes to charging more is being able to offer a better service. Now, this can come at you being able to have an assistant or someone else help you, or someone to come to you and help you with some of these events that you're doing. Especially if you're doing all days, or if you have a really, really big rig. These things, having an assistant or someone that can help you in so many ways when it comes to setting up, looking way more professional. When you're talking, you can continue talking to clients while they're packing up or setting up. These things really, really help. You know, when you come to the end of a gig and people want to come and say their thank yous and you was amazing, and sometimes it's quite hard, especially if you need to get out of the venue in a reasonable time, to still talk to your clients and then also pack away at the same time. Having an assistant can really help with this, so therefore you can continue engaging with clients, talking to people that might want to book you on the spot for next events, while your assistant is getting audio equipment in your car or van, so you can still leave at a good time but not have to rush the customers or rush your clients off, and still have a general chat with them just at the end of the evening. So this is another reason why I talk about charging more, because it's not just about charging more just to make more. It's about charging more so you can have a much better business model, something that maybe takes a little bit of workload off your back, able for you to deliver a better service, seem more professional, and it will be more better for the client also. When it comes to charging more and having more lucrative money, this brings me swiftly onto my next clip, which is from Mike Reddins. This is episode 34. Guys, if you haven't checked this one out, go and check it out, where Mike Reddins said this. Before we go, is there any last words you want to leave for the peoples? Could be anything at all, my man. Anything you want to just leave us with? Last words.
I was on a podcast about a year ago, Becca Poutley, and she asked me a question very similar at the end of her podcast.
Yes.
She asked me...
I know her question that she answers. Gone.
Like, what advice would you give to someone starting up and all that sort of stuff? And there's been a few people who have approached me since then and told me that they took on my advice and it has been a game changer. And that advice is very simple: stop doing DIY. The biggest changes I've made to my business, that have had the biggest impact, of where I've invested money into others to do something properly. And that includes someone building my website, someone creating my copy, someone creating my branding. Now, it's not cheap, but I've always believed in investing in deposits. So I personally asked for a £400 deposit. Now, them deposits, I try and invest into the business, okay? And so every time I get a deposit, I quite often think to myself, what shall I do with that? How can I spend that on the business?
How can I get to improve? What is it I can do to...
So one particular person I've got, he looks after my branding. So I love Canva. I love doing all that sort of stuff, yeah? But when you get someone who's not using Canva, who's using proper professional software,
proper stuff,
proper stuff, and the tricks they can pull, and this particular guy has literally made me the most amazing brochures. He's just incredible, and it's not cheap, but when we were talking about earlier about first impression, that's what stands out, because the printed brochures that I give out open days are ended up in people's houses.
It's the next level, man. Next level, bruv. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I remember one time. Sorry to pause you. I went to Mulligan and I stole yours.
Like,
it was so good. I was like, this is so good. But anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, and so he's the guy behind that. And then there's a lady in America, Andrea. She works in the wedding industry as a copywriter. She went and interviewed loads of my couples before she even started writing my website for me.
Wow.
And so she's just unreal. And I've had people like, I mentioned her earlier, Kelly Mortimer, when she does a bit of mentoring for me. And when she was looking over my website and everything for me, she said this is really, really good copy. Now, you're talking about someone there who is so experienced, who's actually giving you a tick for, your copy. And I'm thinking that investment, was worthwhile, because if she's giving it a tick, then clients are going to give it a tick 10x. But then, there's other people that maybe are not clients that are now going to be very respectful, like yourself. You've mentioned quite a few times about you think my website's good. Well, you think my website's good. Someone like Kelly said my website's good. Well, I've just spent a lot of money on getting it updated, to make it even better. The moment I realised that I was done with the DIY, because I was spending too much time creating something and then thinking, is it good enough? Getting other people's opinion. I'd change it, and then sometimes I wouldn't even follow through and do it. All that sort of stuff. You know what? Look, scrap DIY. If a couple went and created their own playlist on Spotify and used it at their wedding, we'd all frown upon it. Yeah,
that's a good way for people that are pushing back. That's a good way of looking at it, because we know Spotify playlists and people that are not DJs, they will put the songs together and it won't work. Your wedding will be crap, and it's the same thing. DIY. You would have been like, any of us would be like, why don't they book a DJ? And be like, well, why don't you book someone to do your website?
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be my message to everyone, was if you really do want to start taking business serious, because there's a lot of people who are really good at their job. But they're really good because that's their hobby and their passion. But maybe what they're not good at is the business.
The business side, yeah, correct.
And they're definitely the people that need to start thinking about paying people to do stuff.
100%, Mike Reddins, 100%. Invest. Investing in yourself and your business is one of the best ways you can grow faster. Now, me and Mike talk all the time, and he knows I'm someone who does a lot of DIY. Now, don't get me wrong, there's two things when it comes to DIY. DIY is good in a sense where you can learn a lot of things and you're able to do a lot of things. But what you'll start to realize is as you climb the ladder, you don't have enough time to do everything. And then there's going to come a point where you need to siphon off some of the things that you're doing and pay someone to do it for you. And that's when it comes to investing in your business. If you see the flow that I've done here, guys, this is taking me ages to get all these clips together. This episode is taking me ages to produce. But I've got a bit of a flow here. And if you see kind of the journey that we're going on and where we've come now and where we're going to end is basically it's the little bits of improvements. It's the little bits of improvement. And at the end of this episode, we're going to have 3 main goals that I think not everyone, but it might be you that I'm talking to. You might have to have some of these goals on your trajectory, or probably you need to. I think actually everyone has to. I don't know why anyone wouldn't have. But anyway, when we're talking about this is about when you're making more money, where you want to start putting the money. You can put the money into, like we was talking about before, about a content creator. You can put the money into an assistant, or you can put your money into like what Mike's talking about, reinvesting in your business, getting someone to look at your website, getting someone to look at your copy. These are ways where you can stand out from the people that are doing DIY. And I understand when we first start, just like myself, just like a lot of us, DIY is how we start, doing it yourself, making your website on Wix, making your website on Square. Now, there's nothing wrong with Square and Wix websites, guys, but I'm just saying to you, when you pay someone professionally to do it, they do it much better than what you currently have. So it's a great way of moving up and getting things better and looking way more professional, standing out in the crowd. Paying for your copy means that it's SEO approved. Now, I know there's ways of doing it with AI and all these types of things. Now, if you're a whiz kid on that and it works for you, great, go for it. Me, myself, I was better off going to a copywriter and saying, look, this is what I currently had. This is kind of what I want to do. This is who I'm trying to reach. And she rewrote everything and put things into the right places. H1s, H2s. I don't even know what these things mean, but this is kind of how SEO works. It uses the big statements and uses the words and the locations and the things that you're saying and brings people to your site. The more people that spend more time on your site, the SEO grows because it knows that it's working and it pumps it out more. And these things are done by professionals, people that have been writing websites for years. Also, website design, getting someone to design your website. I do not know how to design a website at all. I don't know how to. I remember when Wix came out years and years ago, I made a website for some project I was doing. This is like 15, 20 years ago. And I've never used Square or any of those things, but I'm not dissing those things. I'm saying everyone has to start somewhere, but I'm saying when you start to make a little bit more money, when you start doing some of the things that we're talking about, think about reinvestment. Where can I put my money to help the business grow? Because we want the business to grow. It used to be a little twig and a little plant. We want that plant to become a tree where it's bearing lots of fruit. But that can only happen if we're doing the right things to grow. Now, all this talk about money, but there comes a point when we're making too much money. God damn. Which brings me swiftly on to my next clip, which is with Euan Lawrence, my guy, episode 38, where he spoke about this. There's a few points you mentioned there that I want to quickly touch on. First of all, I want to get out because I can already hear the people listening. Because even yesterday, I was at a speaking engagement. I think you saw I posted on my Instagram. There was a conversation that was had there. So it was a DJ association. It was all just DJs, right? And there was a conversation that was being had there where they was talking about VAT, which a lot of DJs talk about VAT, right? And then what we was talking about was a lot of them was like you become a glorified tax collector, which I kind of get to a degree. Like when you pass the threshold, you're just taking the percentages from your clients and then passing it straight on to the GOV without no questions. It is just what it is. So I that was like a good synopsis, like where that's kind of what you are. And then you had some DJs, well, most of the DJs in the room was kind of talking about trying to stay away from the VAT threshold. Now for me, I've always been like, I don't like the idea or the feeling of a glass ceiling. I don't like the feeling of having to stop for whatever reason, especially when it comes to finances. So there must have been a point, obviously not looking at the big bill that you had to swallow, but if you was to give someone advice about how they feel about staying within, like they want to do much more, but they're starting to get close to the threshold and they're scared, so that they're limiting their prices, they're limiting their bookings to stay underneath that glass ceiling, what advice would you give them from someone who's paid as much tax as you have, especially VAT? God damn it.
Well, all of my DJs are under the VAT threshold.
Mm-hmm.
That's their choice to do. You know, a lot of the guys, they're happy with that. You know, let's be realistic. Let's break it down here, right? To break the VAT threshold it's £90,000.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Money.
It's a lot of money. 100%.
A lot of money
in 12 months
for there's jobs out there that don't even pay anywhere near that.
Nowhere near,
right?
yeah.
Right. So to even be considering earning £90,000 a year, you really have to think wisely. Is it worth going over that? Because once you go over it, you have to charge 12.5%. That's if you go the flat rate scheme. You can't claim a lot of things back with that, but that's your choice to do that. So then that 12.5% of the £90,000, like, I'm not a financial expert, and please do not take this as any financial advice, but you're going to have to do a couple of gigs for free to pay that bill. And then all of those bills are then vatable at 12.5%. Everything you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Every DJ that works for me, and I would apart from one, I would quite happily say they're all comfortable and they're all pretty much at the level of staying where they are. A couple of them are really there, and they'll mark out. They know they keep everything structured, and they will keep everything at 85 to 90. It only just got increased to 90 as well, so it allowed them to earn a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So it's a hard question, because
it is a hard one. It is.
For me, I am not the best person to ask, because I'm not an individual DJ. I mean, are these guys that you were chatting with, were they all multi-operators or just single?
No, I think most of them were. There was a mix, but I think most of the ones that were speaking out were either single ops, or they had like maybe them and maybe another two people. Like nothing big, but there was this conversation about the VAT threshold.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, there was one or two people that was like, look, there's ways of getting around it, like using two businesses and doing a PA.
No, see, there's that's absolute bullshit. Like, can I just say that like, whoever's listening to this podcast, if you think you can make a separate business and get away with that, may see you in jail. Like, I will be straight and honest with you on that. Like, I have been down this rabbit hole, and if there's any business advice I can give anybody, is I spoke to an expert on it. Like, if you are providing somewhat of a same service and you have a separate business, that's VAT avoidance, and there's no way around it. This is me getting real on your podcast now.
No, but like, this is good, because people need to hear this.
I would rather be honest with it, man. Like, you can't get around it. Like, VAT is something that if you are going to go through that threshold, you're going to have to pay. Like, we are not living in a country that doesn't give a damn. We are living in a country that checks. And there is enough people out there that are gunning for you, that are going to try and suggest you to the HMRC guy if they can. And it's a shame, but you know what? It is what it is. It's life, it's business. Pay your taxes, be legit. The best thing I ever did was go, legit. There's a lot of DJs out there,
properly.
especially in the younger market.
Yeah, they're still doing it. Yeah,
properly. Like, the best thing I ever did is do it properly, because of, being self-employed at first, and then trying to get my first mortgage, and trying to get my house, and try and get all this. It's hard, mate. It's really hard. 100%. But don't try and cut corners, because trust me, it will come back to beat you in the ass. So, mate, I should have been on that meeting. I would just spit bars all night, like, But for those that want to go over the VAT threshold, if you are looking to actually increase your business past that £90,000 stage, if you can get it under 150 something, whatever it is, for 12.5%, do you know what? You might be able to make a really good living as a multi-op. If you go past that and you're 20%, you got to really think about this, a seriously big business. Like, from our point of view, turnover sitting well over £500,000. Like, but remember, turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. I can spit all these bloody big numbers,
vanity
but
and sanity.
realistically,
I love that one. I love that one.
But really, it was on Peter Jones from Dragon's Den said it. It's never left my mind since. And having a great successful company with turnover doesn't mean that we're making profit. The overheads are ridiculous. Our DJ bill alone is sitting at like,
it's a big number. It's a big number, Euan.
It's more than half the turnover there. So it's a big number. But you know what?
Annual payout.
Can I say something that's been the most beneficial thing of it?
Please.
Yeah, we've got 10 guys, and only one of them has a full-time job.
So it
What
is,
does that
yeah,
say?
you are literally, yeah, you are looking after that
These
team.
guys, these guys have changed their lives, and you know, they live a great living, but they put on one hell of a goddamn show.
Big shout out to Euan Lawrence, man. That episode 38, if you haven't seen it already, go and check it out, man. Like, Euan is, when I mean he is the total opposite of a gatekeeper. Like, I've got so much time and respect for him because he has helped me in so many ways and so much other people as well. So hats off to Euan Lawrence, man. Major guy in the game. But now this one is more for the people that are more further afield. And if you're in a place where you're getting close to the threshold, this is where you can have a really think about, like you were saying, where is it that you want to go? Where is it? What is it that you want to do? Because with the vet threshold, when you go over a certain amount, this is from what I've heard. I'm not no financial expert or nothing like that, but I heard for the VAT to make sense for an individual person, if you're at 90,000, as soon as you go over 90,000, you have to spend either 12.5 or 20% of all of your income has to go straight away to HMRC. From what I've heard as well, not paying your VAT, not doing your VAT properly is a dangerous game. I think the worstest thing is to end up in jail. You're around people that have done robberies, drug dealers, murderers, and you're there because you went over the VAT threshold and you didn't. You're just in there like, yeah, like, I'm here because I made too much money and I didn't declare some of the money that I made and they caught me. That we don't want to, that's long. Imagine being in jail. Imagine your company. You're in jail. Like, you can't, someone's like, why can't the person, where's the DJ? Oh, he can't attend because he's in jail. What? The wedding DJ's in jail. You'll be like, what was he? Some secret drug lord? No. I just didn't pay his VAT bill. And yeah, the government caught him and he's doing 9 months. I don't think you'll do crazy time. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I ain't looked into it because it's not something that I'm going to be doing. I ain't going in jail for no VAT. But definitely speak to your accountant. Talk to your accountant or speak to a financial advisor. Speak to a VAT. No, what you call them? There's a tax advisor. Go invest all this great money you have and get some expert advice and get them to give you options. So at least with the options, you can kind of see what works best. Oh, sorry, I forgot to make my point. So what I've heard, when you go over the 90,000, until you get to 125 to 130, so there's like a massive gap there of basically 40 grand. 40K, guys. We have to get over that. And then when you're in the 135, 140, 150, that's when things become a little bit more manageable and you can start to see your money, because siphoning off a lot of money of your earnings every year, or it's every quarterly now from what I've heard. Every quarterly, you have to show HMRC your incomings and they want to see what VAT do you owe them now and give it to them now. And that's quarterly. So if you're doing it quarterly, it can be difficult because you know our industry is up and down. Right now, we're in the quiet season, but later on, we're in the hype season. So in the quiet season, they're still going to want their VAT bills. And sometimes those bills can hit you at crazy times. If they're going to get you from December, January and March, the money you made in December is very different to the money that you're going to make in January. So if they're going to be hitting you with those big bills, that might mess you up for what you've got planned or what you've got saved and all those kind of things. So these are for the people that are further afield in terms of the charging game and what they're earning. Speak to a professional. Invest some of your money and make sure that you're spending it in a place. It might cost you £800, 15, 2 grand, maybe 3 grand. But that 3 grand spent can save you from going to jail. And I don't think anybody here wants to be going to jail. But wedding DJ ends up in jail. Do you know that would be a madness? That would be a madness. I don't want that happening to you. So make sure you get your advice. So let's round it up, man. The 3 main goals that I think we should all have from this episode, from all the great guests that we've had on there, is number 1, from DJ Ray and Lords DJ. Post more this year. Post more this year. Don't make it stressful. Do not make posting more this year some stressful thing that you hated to commit to. Make it manageable, guys. This is a long game. We're in this for the long game. This isn't 3 weeks. This isn't 2 months. This isn't 6 months. It's years. So where we're doing years, give yourself long tail goals. If you want to see overnight changes, you have to go hard. you have to be doing 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, posting 3 times a day, and you will see dramatic change in a short space of time. But it's going to come with a lot of stress. And sometimes stress, is it worth it? Most of the time, no. So, where we're playing the long game, if, like I said before, I'm actually right now talking to the person who doesn't post that much. If you're posting 2 or 3 times a month, which in my opinion isn't good, but this is where we're taking my opinion out because we're talking about you. When we're talking about you, don't worry about my opinion. Let's talk about you. And when we're talking about you, we're looking at incremental growth, small changes, small little things consistently over a long period of time will have a trajectory that's doing this. And that's what we want to do. It's business. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So if you was doing 3 times a month, your goal is to up that to 6 times a month. Just double it. Just double it, because 3 is not massive. 6 is not a lot. This is 1.5 times a week. I don't know how you're going to do the half, but you get my gist. Don't make it crazy, but make your goal a bit more than last year. The way you can do that is go to your analytics on your phone. There's a one thing that says at the bottom, how much times have you posted? You see when it shows you where your how much people have been on your page this month? Click on that. There's one stat out of the 4 and it says how much times you've posted, and you want that to be green. If it's green, it means that you've done more than you did in the last 30 days, or change it to 90. You can go to the setting at the top where the filter is, change it to 90, and you just want to make sure that you're doing better every time by a couple more. If that's the case, if it's green and it's pointing up, your trajectory is doing this. The more you want your trajectory to do is the more work you have to put in. But remember, if you put too much work on yourself and you get stressed, you don't want to do that. So let's stay away from stress. Let's make it manageable. Goal number 1, post more this year. Goal number 2, charging more. Now, charging more, like we said we've done, we don't want to do anything that's going to cause us stress, guys. We're staying away from the stress world. Stress is something that we don't want. And the way we can do that is by doing incremental, whatever's comfortable for you. Now, if you want to go up by £50 per gig, if you was charging $350, which I highly disagree with, you know my stance. If you're charging $350, £400, £50 difference. Not going to break the bank for your general person. Technically, you should be charging more than that, but like I said, I don't want to stress you out. Do the £50, see how that goes for a little while. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. If you see there's no pushback, which there won't be, add another £50 on. Now you're hitting goal number 2, which is charge more. You're now charging more, which is going to help your business so you can do more things, which is going to lead us into goal number 3. Goal number 3, last but not least, invest. You must put in to get more out. You cannot not put in and expect more out. That's called insanity. And we're not insane, are you? I know you're not. You're a logical thinker. So you're going to invest into an area where you believe we can add more to the business. It can be an assistant, like I said, content creator, tax advisor, accountant. We should all have an accountant, by the way. We should all have one. They're online, guys. Go and find one. Go and find an accountant. You need an accountant. An accountant that gives you advice, an accountant that's helping you. Not an accountant that's just doing everything that he said. No, this accountant should be saving you money, helping you, making you make better financial decisions. It should be help. Your call with your accountant shouldn't be a call that you dread. It should be the kind of call that you're looking forward to. If you're dreading it, you've probably got a bad accountant. I'm just saying, if you're dreading your call to your accountancy, you got a bad accountant. You should be like, I need help. Who's the first person? Accountant. Or tax advisor. Because from what I've heard, again, I'm not a tax specialist, I'm not a financial specialist, but they're 2 different people. Luckily, my accountant kind of does both. But there's some people that their strategic thing is to help with tax. So they're going to help you structure your business in a better way where maybe you can earn more money by doing the exact same thing that you've been doing. But a tax advisor has moved things around a little bit. So you've got a little bit more on your dividends. You've got a little bit more on your PAYE, or however it is that you're doing it. Some people understand what I'm talking about. Some people don't. If you do, then you know. If you don't, come live up life, because you need to know this stuff. This is business. This is business. You need to know how to run your business. Now, running your DJ business isn't all about beat matching and making the crowd go mad. No, that's the talent part. The business part is what we're talking about here. So, getting back to it, top 3 goals: posting more, charging more, investing. Those are the top 3 things that I think all of us should be doing in our business in some shape or form. If you're doing that, then you're winning. Other than that, guys, we're going to wrap this up because I've been here for quite a while. I've got so much. This episode has taken me, guys, you don't understand how long this episode has taken me hours. I'm going to be honest with you, hours to produce. This is, I don't think you're going to be getting an episode like this for a while. It took me, this has taken me so long. But anyhow, it's been worth it because you've listened to it to the end. If you've made it to the end, make sure you head into the comment wherever you listen to this, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and just write "made it," because that means 2 things to me. It means that 1, you're going to make it in life, in this game, long game, you're going to make it, and I'm there with you, and we got this. And 2, you made it to the end of the episode, which means so much to me because it means all this time that I've invested hasn't gone to waste. Guys, Level Up Live 2026, the whole reason of it is to change businesses, increase money because we can charge more. What we do is amazing. Some people are making it difficult for us in terms of the DJs that are not charging accordingly and doing things in some obscure ways, but I've realized that we can't change those people, and that's okay, but we can change us. We can do things that will be better for our businesses, and the people that are on the journey, we can all rise just like a bakery and just make the bread rise, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we win, and that plant turns into a tree, and your missus will be happy, and so will your kids, or even your bank account, or whatever it may be. Do you know what I mean? So Level Up Live is going to help in so many ways. What's great about Level Up Live, Laws DJ is going to be there. Euan Lawrence is going to be there. Dan Ross is going to be there. Mike Reddin's going to be there. A lot of people on this episode are going to be there. You can ask some direct questions just about what you've just heard. I'm going to be there myself. We got CB that's going to be there, and also Tony Roberts, legend in the game. In real time, they're all going to be at Level Up Live. So make sure, if you haven't already, head into the link in the description, grab your ticket, and I will see you in February the 22nd for the best event ever for the DJ to make a more money and make a better business. If you can't make it to Level Up Live, make sure, whether if you're going to Level Up or not, make sure you head into the link in the description and join my school academy. On the school academy, I'm going to be making courses which are going to take me some time, so bear with me, but there's going to be courses on how to charge from £500 to £1,000 and how to charge from £1,000 to £1,500. We're also going to be doing a course for hosting. These things are all going to be about bettering your business. So make sure you head over to there. There's going to be lots of conversations, free to join, absolutely free to join. What's great is that you can head over into the discussions. If you've got ideas or questions about episodes or anything in terms of what we talk about on this podcast, that's going to be the best place to go. We're going to answer as much questions as we can, and we're going to be making episodes strictly tailored to the questions inside those communities as well. I want to give a big shout out to all my Patreoners, man. You guys have kept this podcast running. You've kept it going. You've been making sure that this light is able to stay on, that this light is able to stay on, and we can keep this going. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and thank you for all your support for this year and for the year going, well, for last year and for this year coming forward as well, man. You guys, I'm telling you, I see your names. The ones that are coming up Level Up Live, I've got something special for you on the day. I'm not going to say so much because I'm not saying this to make people go and sign up. I just have a massive big shout out for the people that have already signed up to support the podcast. Thank you. Here's to a better year. Here's to a better 26. 2026 is going to be the best year, better than 2025. 2025 wasn't that bad, but 2026, we're taking it to a whole new level. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to do this together. You're not by yourself. You got the community. You got myself. We are all here. Anyway, guys, love you, leave you. Next week, Moby DJ Mastery. Peace. I'll catch you then. Cheese.